AITA for refusing to give my former son a second chance? Throwaway account. I, 48M, find out my ex, 49F, had cheated on me and that the two children she had given birth to, 23F and 21M, only one the girl was mine. I filed for divorce and my ex tried for reconciliation, but I couldn't live with so much doubt. Once we got to court it was like a switch had flipped and she tried to keep me from the children. It didn't work though, I had really good lawyers. In spite of everything I was willing to still be a father to Noah, fake name, but my ex can be very manipulative. She told Noah about his real dad and even introduced them. Since then I became strict fake dad while he was cool real dad. When Noah was 13 he told me that he no longer wanted to see me and that he'd tell a judge the same thing if I forced visitation. I asked him why and if I ever made him feel bad. Noah just said that he wanted to spend more time with his real dad and didn't like my house rules. I was heartbroken but I let him go and still made attempts to keep the relationship. I called, texted, sent presents and even invited him to events. Noah wouldn't respond or pass small messages to his sister. When Noah was 18 he legally changed his surname to his father's and told me there wasn't enough room for me to attend his graduation. After that I gave up and resolved myself to live life with being a father to my daughter and son, 12M, via my second wife. Recently, Noah reached out to me and apologized for his past actions and wanted a relationship again. I was surprised and heavily skeptical, and was right to be so. Apparently, Noah's real dad got married and his wife gave him an ultimatum and he chose her. I told Noah that while I am sorry for what happened to him I had no interest in being treated like an old pair of gloves that you only think about and wear when it gets cold. My ex thinks I'm being hurtful and petty, rich coming from her, and my daughter says that she understands my pain but hopes that I can learn to give Noah a second chance. I just don't know because I'm in a place where I'm fine not having Noah in my life or having any communication with him, and I don't want to rekindle a relationship just for him to drop me again when his real dad changes his mind. AITA? Edit for info. Just to be clear because I keep seeing this. I divorced my ex Noah was 6. My ex told Noah the truth about his parentage when he was 10 and his real dad came into his life at around 12. This all didn't just happen when he was 13. By the time he reached that age he already had at least a year to process the inform. When I asked my daughter, since Noah wasn't talking to me, if she thought her mom was pushing Noah to say those things she said, no. Apparently, Noah wanted to spend time with his dad but because of his work schedule it wasn't always often, but when it could happen it was conveniently during my scheduled time with Noah. I tried to see if we could work something out but my ex and Noah refused any compromise. Update. Mods denied my request to post an update so here it is. First, I just wanted to say thank you to all the messages and comments in support. It really feel nice to have my feelings validated. After a lot of thought I decided to follow my wife's advice, write an actual letter to Noah regardless of whether or not I intended to send it. I explained to Noah how much he hurt me by refusing to see me, never inviting me to important events in his life, not wanting to meet or spend time with my son, via my new wife, and how legally changing his surname cut deep. I also wrote that in spite of everything I still didn't take any pleasure in hearing about his father's rejection of him as I understand how hurtful that can be. I said that even though I knew he was young I was still angry over what he did and a part of me felt resentful towards all the time, love and money I spent on him when I technically didn't have to. This letter felt very cleansing and I read it a couple of times before burning it. In the end I decided to reach out to Noah and asked my daughter for his new number. He changed it when he was 19 and didn't give me his new one. I sent Noah a message reiterating how sorry I was at how his father treated but I was hurt how it felt like I was being treated as a last resort, and the circumstances of his desire to reconnect doesn't make me trust the relationship. I told him that I was willing to have some type of relationship with him again but only under these specific guidelines. 1. Don't call me dad or refer to me as father in any way. We can readdress this in the future but right now it honestly feels too soon. 2. Don't ever ask me for money. Cosigns for anything either, I'm not gonna be his personal ATM for any reason. 3. You invite me to your things, I'll invite you to mine. For he's free to complain or talk about his bio dad with or around me but he needs to understand that I have no kind words for that man and will either say negative things or nothing at all. 5. I expect him to be nice to my son and new wife and treat them with respect. 6. Don't go running to your mom in regards to information about my wife or son's lives as it's none of her business. 7. Don't go running to your mother or sister for any problems you have with me. We either talk about man to man or find someone else. I don't want them trying to put themselves into our business. 8. He needs to understand that going forward our relationship, if we continue to pursue one, is going to be different and will take more work on his end than mine as he is less of a priority to me now that he's an adult. 9. When I die, the majority of my assets will be split between his sister and my son through my current wife, and he will only be left the minimum requirement for him to not have grounds to sue. Again, I'm not gonna be his cash cow. The rest of you can agree or disagree, but these are my terms if Noah wants any type of direct communication with me going forward, as this is the only way that I feel comfortable and how I believe I can protect myself if Noah ever becomes hurtful. This will also be his last chance, and if he disappoints me again, then I am prepared to wash my hands of him because I have more to live for than just waiting to be loved by someone.